For sure, you gotta give him a fire song though.
Alright, reference out.
Cities on sight, trying to see it. Free your mind for a minute, only temporary. Then we blow the gas and left out. Now I'm covered in.
Welcome back to another one. It's the Koopa coming at you here. Go ahead, subscribe and like if you like the content, if you like Dragon Quest, if you like MMOs, if you like cosplays. Because right over here we got our Roach King Asmon and little VTuber Smugglana and music artists Chloe Exhale. I realize I didn't introduce the team here that we're doing for the new part. You know, 3 parts in, we'll let you know who's here. You really don't need to know, though. Honestly, you really don't need to know. I realized in the middle of last episode, too, I went and got his mustache. It's pretty funny because I didn't have it before. First part, but, you know, it costs money, you know, so you need to really balance and plan these things out. Also, I feel like it takes forever for the damn mail to get there when you buy things from the shop, but maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just an impatient fuck and I need to take more breaks where I'm not playing the game. But it's hard to not play the game. Speaking of the game, guys, today's podcast episode is a little fact about the currency of the game. We're going to talk about love, and we're going to talk about the way it is a currency and the way, you know, when you lose love, when you lose currency, you know, emotional balance in a relationship, it's not really your fault. And because of that, you know, there's no real way to get it back. You know, it's not like other forms of currency. You know, money comes and goes. But love is different because you really can't give love to someone and make sure that they receive it. You can give the love, but you have to realize at the same time, somewhere along the way, it can get misconstrued, changed. You know, it's not like a one-to-one transaction. There's no like PayPal. You know, Visa does not work with love. Excuse me. And so, because we don't have a love processor between us, you know, to mitigate us, you know, to save us from all the nasty love transactions, yeah, it can get misconstrued. It can get changed. And so, you know, if you don't understand how this currency really works, you know, how it really flows from one being to another, you're going to end up in a lot of sad, pathetic, gruesome breakups, situations where, you know, it seems like the world is stacked against you, and then you go through the whole pain arc where you don't give a fuck about no one, and then eventually, if you decide to build yourself instead of trying to build someone else, we will come into our glory, you know? And I'm not saying the narcissism is the way. I'm saying this is our counteract to the general culture. Right now we are in a battle, you know, not against the other sex, but against the culture, essentially. They're trying to destroy the critical thinking minds of the free country, of the world and whatnot, and how they do that is just, well, first of all, they gotta demasculate us, and demasculating us is just very easy when we think everybody receives and gives love the same way. So, let's get into this, guys. Essentially, love is currency. It's like money, right? But guys use the money like, you know, they're investing and, you know, building a portfolio, essentially, you know, building a business. And girls use love like they are in the stock market, like they're trading and you know, sort of trying to make the most of the situation that they're in. Okay? And how to explain this more fully and ground it a little bit more is that girls love in the moment. They are more feeling with the emotions, and so with that, you can't expect a female or someone with a feminine nature to love the same way when you are down and when you are up. Now, I'm not saying this is the same for everyone. I'm saying it ebbs and flows in different ways for different people. Different parameters will give you different results, right? So some girls, when you are in a high state of you know, abundance, they're going to give out a lot of love. Some girls are going to give out a little love in this high state of abundance. And then when things are low, The love is always going to change. That's the one thing you have to take note of, guys. It's just going to change no matter what. Now, what it changes to can be different, can be strange, can be interesting. But depending on, your abundance, your happiness, your sadness, your events, your level of competency, your safety, your health, all this shit, it will just change. It will just change. The amount of love given will slowly alter. And guys, in a different way, we sort of slowly build up. There's like just, a clear line graph, at least for me. I know the more time I spend with you, because that's my primary love language, I'm just gonna like you more. I'm just gonna like you more. The love language I like to give out the most is also acts of kindness. That's my favorite, one to do, just because I'm smart. I like to fix things. I like to solve issues. I like to solve problems. And I feel like doing that and spending time is the best way for me to sort of like understand people. I also like giving people solutions to see how they deal with that, because once again, I just like to understand people. So knowing this, you have to realize whenever there's been like a breakup, a deficit, some sort of change or altercation, it's not, expressly or inherently your fault. It's not. It's a product of the situation. And what causes these breakups, guys? I'm not mean, to be like, guys, we fucked up. It's all our fault, right? But honestly, it is all our fault, because what causes these breakups and ends in relationship is not really how the girl is. It's how the guy reacts to it. That's how every breakup is basically started. And because we're not really educated on how love works. We're not really educated on how girls work, because I know a lot of guys who are in happy, loving relationships, they just haven't hung out with a lot of girls, because some guys just get into a relationship at high school and they just say, fuck it, this is me. I don't care. I don't want to deal with more women and go out into the dating scene. Hell no. And then I know a lot of guys who haven't been in a relationship ever, but have, good luck with women. They're just, okay. They just kind of strangle along, but they've like lived with women before. They've had girl roommates or a lot of girl family members, and they just know how female nature works. And a lot of guys see these guys and they're like, he's just a player, he's just a manho, he's just he's so fucking annoying. There's a lot of resentment over this, because honestly, I'm being real here, if you don't have a particular social setting set up, there's not a lot of ways to authentically build friendships with people, especially women. And nowadays I feel like that's what we need. We just need more experience. People are so inexperienced with just talking to people, because we think, and this is so dumb that we think this nowadays, but we think talking to people can be done through a phone. And I assure you, if you think you get the same amount of oxytocin, the same amount of abundance, love, energy from typing on a screen or calling someone that you get from talking to them in person, you, my friend, are cooked. 110% you're cooked. If you prefer texting people more than meeting them and talking to them in person, my friend, you are cooked. And it's not bad to be cooked. As a matter of fact, most of us are. I will admit that's me. I really do. Well, I don't prefer texting people. But this definitely was me for a second there, where I preferred texting people. Now, I don't prefer talking to people at all. I'm 110% checked out. This is basically the only conversation I have on a weekly basis, on a daily basis. Weekly, I talk to maybe one person, maybe my boss, when I have to. But yeah, I'm just completely done with everything, because it's not even just the girls that I'm getting horrible love deficits from. But it's the guys. Can we not love the homies? I think we can. So let's go over and talk about the boys here, because we've done enough man bashing. I'm trying to get out of red pill content, because red pill content nowadays is disgustingly toxic, and I'm not about it. We're about cultivating love, and that's just to bring us together. I know a lot of what I talk about here just kind of radicalizes people, radicalizes myself. I don't know. I don't know what people actually watch this. But this is not here to radicalize. It is here to inform. And the information should radicalize you, because it's terrible. We're not in a good state right now. America or otherwise, and they're all trying to distract us from the true enemy. The true enemy. Which is inherently the confusion, the discourse. The fact that everybody's trying to distract us and keep us away and keep us fighting each other instead of fighting what really matters. The people trying to take our rights and freedoms away. You guys realize this is like one of the last free bastions of the world, and we're just squandering it away, being retarded Karens, having elevated levels of empathy. Like, I'm so empathetic, I care about everyone because I'm free and I'm so privileged. We have to care. We have to care. I'm like, no, you don't. You actually don't have to care. Caring is a choice. We have freedom to have that choice. And honestly, if we want this freedom to stay alive, we have to fight back towards things that are actively killing us. Actively. Destroying that freedom. Destroying that privacy. And indeed, let me bring this back to love because I got a little bit off topic. The fact that a lot of people try to simp their way out of a sunken ship, you know, because that's essentially what you're doing when you see the love is gone and you try to cultivate it back in other ways. Guys, we are bankers, we are investors, and the only thing you're going to do with your love is you're going to put more into the bank. You're not really going to take away love and hoard love. I don't know any guy that does that. I really don't. Maybe they try to. But all the guys that do that are probably like elites, you know, super rich and famous and all that shit. The guys that you really don't hear about or aren't really in the populace. The guys who just hoard their love and take them shit into themselves. They're everybody that's fucking checked out. So naturally, we are open to being monetarily and financially abused because, you know, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be provider man. Provider man. You got the provider buster. Okay. And when you see that general attitude of simpitude and the fact that you know, it may not work 100% of the time, but it works for a lot of guys, especially the guys that are born into capital, especially the guys who, you know, decide to check out and then work for the capital, then you just go back to simp mode. Why not, right? It works sometimes. But now we're seeing that love deficit, that sunken ship mentality leak onto everything else. It's melting. You know, the love currency, if you just switch that over to actual money, we are all losing in this game of capitalism. And then what do we do? What do some people decide to do? Invest more into that bank. Give them more. They need more power, guys. They need more spirit bomb. Let me raise my arms up to the almighty government and give them my love more. Let me simp harder because that'll work. That'll work. You know, let me become ultra love simp. And that's not how things are supposed to work. That's not how things should work. You wouldn't want them to work that way. Yet we've been led to believe this is the proper way for society to function. And that's just not true. It's just not true. It's just inherently untrue. For society to actually function and get back to a place where it needs to be, and for your love to actually function and get back to a place where it needs to be, I'm not saying it has to crumble. Your relationship has to crumble. And as a matter of fact, it doesn't even have to end in a breakup. But it has to crumble. And I'm not talking about your relationship with your partner or your lover or your America. What has to change is our relationship with the currency. You have to stop being so generous. You have to hold on to what power you have because it is powerful. So many people have told us that this masculinity shit, it's all toxic. It's all bad. It's all not powerful. No, it's powerful. Do not leave. Do not leave. Please don't leave. I'm talking important things. But do not believe the lie that doing retarded, stupid shit that you actually like to do has no value. And I'm not saying that only girls will teach you this. Guys will teach you this too. A lot of guys see a hobby that they are generally not interested in, that one of their guy friends does, and decide to make fun of it. And I'm like, I'm guess, guys. This is how we connect. That's how we bond. You know, we goof around. Oftentimes, when I try to, or when I want to, like, connect with one of my friends or one of my fellas, what I really want to do is just kind of laugh and play video games, or have a funny conversation, or talk about a YouTube video or something. I really don't want to sit down and talk about my problems unless it's 3 a.m. and we've just finished like 4 blunts. I really don't want to do that. I really don't. And I realize a lot of people don't want to talk about, their problems, monetary or love-wise, otherwise, when they come to people who seemingly are in the same kind of boat, the same kind of area. At least for me, we like to talk about problems with people who seem like they're above us in some way, which is very annoying to me. Because a lot of people come to me for their problems. And I'm like, you guys really think I'm smarter than you? I mean, I probably am. But like, Jesus. It's hard. And it causes you to check out. Because it's like, what happens when, my knowledge is not enough. And I take stock. I take ownership of a mistake that's not even mine. It kind of hurts the ego in a way that doesn't need to be had. So it checks you out a little bit. It disconnects you from being relatable. And that's the whole point of life. Is to connect to people. If you realize that, it can be kind of sad to see the era that we're in for us males. But that's just the result of social media, of the way love has interacted through social media, and the way our brains now, work. I'd say we're all just relatively a little bit dumber because we can't do the social cues normally anymore. We're ready to just be typing, so natural social cues. And you're seeing girls talk about this too. Like, if you ever watched any of those red pill videos where people are making fun of girls, angry that guys aren't approaching them, or guys can't read signals. Why do you think guys can't read signals now? It's because we never fucking see them, because we're constantly in our phone. A lot of guys have never, ever approached a woman in real life. You know what I'm saying? Like, not even tried one time. And I'm like, this is kind of wild. This is kind of wild. I think it's wild that we're not just taking a step back and seeing the perspective of things and realizing that we 100% caused this. We 100% we're walking towards this slowly, but now 2025 year of the truth, it seems like it's all here way too fast. But we've been going there. We've been traveling there. And if you haven't seen it, I hope you see it now. And it's never too late to turn this shit around. Never too late. There are a lot of horrible things, a lot of weird things going on, but I feel like the movement to just change things around just needs critical thinking. It just needs knowledge. It just needs informative education, along with entertainment. Because God, everybody loves boring shit. I mean, everybody loves boring shit. Holy shit. Everybody hates boring shit, right? But yeah, man. We can save the sunken ship. We just have to be more careful about how we use our currency, love and monetarily. If you don't like something, don't buy it. And as a matter of fact, stop buying the shit that we don't fucking need. And it's the same thing with women. Guys, if someone doesn't show you 100% authentic courtesy of love, if someone doesn't respect how fast you want them to text back, if someone doesn't respect, the tone or the reflex of the message, if you text someone and you ask them a question, and then a day later they ask, how are you, completely ignoring your question, me personally, I'm blocking this motherfucker. You're retarded. You do not care about me, especially if I just started talking to you. You don't care about me. I'm on your time, and also I'm on your conversation skills. You're not even gonna react to what I fucking say. But a lot of guys will just simp for that. They'll just be like, "This is the only thing I can get, so I'll take it." And that's not true. You don't have to go to the grocery store, walk in, and then be like, "Well, this is the only thing I can afford. Guess I gotta eat today." You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Starve, bitch. Starve, I assure you. I assure you, we don't need this much love in life. We don't need to every day. We don't. We don't. And I was like, I realized that I was, you know, yoinking, spanking the hog every day. And I'm like, this don't feel good. Like, I feel physically sick. I feel physically tired. I feel drained. This shit ain't working for me. This shit just is not working for me. And I'm not saying you have to cut off cold turkey. I'm not saying you have to follow my path. I'm not saying any of this bullshit. You have to do exactly what you have to do. But realize there is love in moderation. There is strength in moderation. And I'm sorry that that girls don't love the same way. I apologize that we are romantic fucks, schmucks, with no lucks. But you're just gonna have to fucking deal with it. The true way to attract a woman is through strength and ambiguity. And once you just lay out everything, you're just like, oh my god, I love you so much, and you're so amazing, when you haven't even gone on one date with them. Well, first of all, that depletes all your strength, and of course, I mean, how ambiguous is that, guys? The answer is it's not very much. Also, I didn't read what that guy just said. So now we're evacing, and then I'm going to buy, I think this is an iron schlick, because I thought we were doing a different quest, and I thought he wanted me to stab the octopus with the iron schlick, but I already collected the items, so we're going. Look, we're just taking a little trip to Eltona because I wanted to. You know, it's a little fun trip to Eltona. Everybody calm down, we're having a good time here, okay? Anyways. The general act of withholding love. A lot of people will say, you know, it's just gonna make you seem like some kind of horrible asshole or whatever. You know, I have to reject and block a bunch of people. But at least for me, I had to realize that it's not noble to sacrifice everything you have for everyone else until you're run ragged into the ground and you crash out. It's not noble. It's just self-betrayal. You know? I don't care if everybody in the world betrays you. Does that mean you should follow suit? Does that mean you should also betray yourself and not care about any, you know, of your needs or wants? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think our greatest asset to ourselves is our time and our effort. And I don't care how much they say they love you. If the actions don't match, if the thighs don't match, guys. It can be whatever, you know. I know you feel when you're not being treated the way you want to be treated. It can be whatever. I don't care what it is. I don't care how big, how small, man. You got to bring that shit up to attention, you know, maturely, or just fucking leave. I'm sorry, man. I'm too old to teach people how to love me. I'm way too fucking old. If you don't know how, somebody else does. Somebody else fucking does. 8 million people, guys. And a lot of people are checking out in this way too. They're just kind of pissed off at the fact that we give so fucking much, or seemingly, because a lot of girls won't even tell you what they really want. I mean, they'll tell you what they really want, but I mean, it's not really what they want, you know? I told you what I wanted, and then I give it to you, and then you don't like me, right? So that's why I say a lot of girls don't really know what they want. But then again, guys don't really know either. The thing is, I don't know what I want, but I would take anything. And that's bad. That's bad. That's very bad. That's what turns us all into simps. That's what turns us all into, you know, wanting puppies who will take any kind of love that's there. But, you know, if you don't love yourself, then all that sustenance that you're getting is just gonna come in and come right the fuck back out. You know, you'll shit it out, and you'll be like, where did that love go? I don't know. Let me try and build some more. Nah, man. You gotta cultivate love. Or you could be like me and actually become it. Embody it. You know, truly say that my character is what love is. You know, when I step out into the world, I become it. I'm not saying this is a path for everyone. You know, I've intentionally given away my autonomy for basically the world at this point. You know, I want to be the greatest entertainer of all time, and so I have to dedicate myself, essentially, for as long as I can, to the art of not only creating a safe and comfortable space, but to create an enlightening, critical thinking space so that people can feel like their thoughts, wishes, general dreams can be fulfilled, can be understood. Because I feel like nowadays, today's world, today's modern world, a lot of hope is gone because people don't feel seen. People don't feel heard. Everybody is so destined to be heard that we're copying other people that people listen to. And we're like, people listen to that guy, I want to be heard too, so let me do what this guy's doing. Or people like this guy's money, so I don't know what to do, I'll copy this guy's thing. And we need to understand that if you really want to be successful, long-lasting, and live a long, fruitful life, then it's all a combination of what you've done in your childhood, commodifies, I don't know what the fuck that word, I don't know how to say that. Commodifies, commodifies. Anyways, you turn what you've done your entire life into a commodity, which is different for every single person. And then, only then, you'll find your way, the way to tell your own authentic story. Because with this quirk, we always have a story to how we built it, how we cultivated it. And once enough people learn how to tell their story, through AI or whatever fucking means, I feel like we'll just have more pathways to the top. Right now, it seems like everybody is squished down on the bottom. And, corporations are trying to keep it that way. They want us all distracted by the fact that right, left, black, white, man, woman is so deadly. Like, oh, look what other people on the other side are doing. Look how evil and unfair this is. Instead of actually pointing us towards the inherent richness of our country, and the fact that the social, what's that, status fatigue or status anxiety? I forget what the exact term is. I might put it on screen right now, but I'm very lazy. I like to not edit, except for the intros. But the fact that being a loser is quote unquote your fault. You're not just born into it. We have a merit-based society. But they don't tell you the fact that everything is stacked against you. Like literally, if you're on the bottom, man, everything's stacked against you. And like I've said, I've mentioned this before in Utopia, when you're up top, you don't pay for anything. You don't pay for shit. And you constantly get money. You constantly get money and you don't pay for shit. And I know many people who still act like dumbasses at the top, lose it all, and get it all. And this is not because everybody at the top has no morals. This is not because everyone at the top has worked so hard. This is 90% nepotism. If you're at the top and you know someone at the top, guess where you're going to be? You're going to be at the top. That's why when people say you're not rich unless you have rich friends, that's what they really mean. Doesn't mean, bring all your poor friends up to rich status and then you'll be rich forever. That's not what that fucking means. Now, you may be rich forever by bringing your poor friends up, but it might not be as the result of your poor friends. Right? Let's be real here. Rich people keep rich people rich. Now, it's kind of like women in this way, and I don't mean to, compare women to, the horrible dregs of society. But pretty single women will keep pretty single women single. And it's the same with the girls in the relationships. The girls in the relationships who are beautiful will help the girls stay in relationships. The thing about this world that I think I'm really disgusted by is just the inherent gatekeeping everywhere. And the fact that everybody even wants to go in everybody else's gate. Nobody wants to build their own kingdom. Everybody just wants to be a part of something else, of somebody else's community. You know, they want somebody else to lead and be autonomous so they don't have to think. And I get it, guys. I hate thinking too. Fuck this thinking shit. If I could have a switch that just press the button and not think, I would do it all the time. Oh wait, I do. It's porn. So the thing is, guys, we have to realize that our love, our relationships are all based on, you know, essentially how much we value ourselves or love ourselves, or how much we really hoard our currency, you know? Sad but true, sad but true. And you may be convinced, you may have been brainwashed to think that, you know, the more you give, the more you'll receive in life, but that's not a pure and lump sum equation. Strangely enough. It is not. It is not. There are some nuances to, you know, the amount of love we are able to give, and our capacity, our bank, you know, our love bank, if you will. How much love we were able to give in the love bank? I don't know. I'm losing it. I'm losing it. It's been a long episode. It's been a long episode. It's been a long time yapping. Been a long time yapping. Ooh, look. Ooh, a little max damage right there. Yeah, my Guardian is actually shaped up to be hella nice. This class is ridiculous. I got the Sage 100, and I think it's Sage and Thief for the next master class, which is the Hermit. I still need to do... Oh my goodness, I still need to do... Because I got the Mage. Oh, Jesus Christ. But I need the Armamentalist for the Dragon Mage. So yeah, my Mage is fully leveled, but I need the Armamentalist too for the Dragon Mage, which is what I think I want Smugglana to be. Right now she's still a Death Master. But I want her to get angry and turn into a dragon, because I think that'd be funny. Anyways, I'm essentially done with the talks. I mean, this place was essentially, you know, don't let your love drown. It's a currency, right? So don't feel bad about hoarding this shit. But you know, we are all banks in some way, in some nature. So don't feel bad or, you know, greedy from keeping things to yourself, from checking out a little bit, because that is really how we excel and grow nowadays. And it sounds so fucking toxic to me. This is why I hate the red pill shit, man. It sounds so toxic that when we meet someone and we even pull back, right? We tell them we love them. We tell them, you know, hey, I'm interested in you. And then we pull back, and then they pull in because we pull back, and then we pull in, and you fucked up. And that's the wrong thing to do. You know, the Manosphere tells you, no, my friend. That's when they're gonna pull away. You know, and it's just like, what are we doing here, guys? What happened to love, honestly? And yeah, I feel like it's the porn. I feel like it's the social media. So just hoard the shit. Hoard the shit. You know, and wait for something that truly is you, guys. It's gonna happen, especially if we're actually focused on being better people. You know, you have to be patient, and you have to authentically believe that you really don't need anyone. And I feel like right when you're at that point where you're like, I'm so good at being alone, I am so ready to be alone for the rest of my fucking life. That's when someone's gonna come in and be like, hey, I'm here. And then you sucker punch them. Okay, that was weird. Anyways, I suppose the world is always changing. There's always a different way to excel. So I suppose if you have your own way, I congratulate you. And if you don't have your own way, feel free to put it in the comments, post it up. You know, tell me what the last interesting thing you did was. Okay, and we'll go from there. I love ya. I appreciate ya. Next time will be super fun. Go back to town and we'll go to the tower. All right. See you guys later. See you next time.
Free your mind for a minute, only temporary. Then we blow the gas and left out.